4 apps I open just to write code. None of them remember what the others know. Chat for questions, an editor plugin for code, a separate automation app, and a deploy script. Nobody remembers the flags for. That's what building software actually looks like right now. That's the itch this whole series scratches. Think Swiss Army knife versus 4 separate tools you keep swapping between and re-explaining yourself to. That's the gap I'm after. So here's the question I kept coming back to. What if I just build the one platform that does all of it myself? Not another wrapper around someone else's chat window. An actual tool with its own opinions about how a developer should work. Picture a personal assistant who was in every meeting you've ever had. You'd never have to re-explain yourself. That's what I want this platform to feel like. One app that carries context from a conversation into the code it writes into the thing that actually ships. Not 3 separate products glued together with copy-paste. I'm breaking it into 4 capabilities and refusing to add a 5th until these work. Chat for thinking things through, code assist for writing it, automation for the repetitive blue work, and deploy for getting it live. Everything I build in this series has to serve one of these 4. Here's the trick to not getting overwhelmed on day 1. Don't design the whole system, just draw the 4 boxes a request has to pass through. Front-end, back-end, LLM layer storage. That's it. That's the entire architecture sketch for episode 1. I'm not locking this in today, but I want to say it out loud. So episode 2 has a target, React and White up front, Fast API in the middle, Claude doing the reasoning, Postgres and S3 holding the data. Simple enough to build alone, boring enough to trust. My honest opinion, most AI tool launches these days are a chat window wearing a new skin. And that's overrated. The interesting problem isn't the model, it's the plumbing that makes tools share context. I've shipped a part 1 video before with no real plan for part 2 and the series died there. This time the infrastructure comes first, on camera, so it can't happen again. Here's what happens without this. I ship episode 2, decide something important, and by episode 5 I've forgotten it. I've watched a series die exactly that way. So here's a trick that actually matters for a built-in public series. A table that stores what each episode was really about, so episode 5 can't quietly forget what episode 2 decided. One SQLite table, one primary key on series and episode number. Small piece, but it's the one that lets build series just work without me manually tracking a counter in my head. Ask the table what the last episode was, add 1, done. This is the function that actually locks in an episode, figure out the number, insert the real notes, commit, everything downstream, the script, the slides, the upload, read from this row instead of me making something up. Combine the 3 pieces and add an arc past front door. And build series is a real CLI mode now, not a plan. Run it once and it grounds an episode in the database before a word of script gets written. Run that command and here's what lands in the table. Episode 1, grounded, with real notes instead of guesses. Clean. The honest risk here isn't the code, it's momentum. A multi-episode built-in public series dies the moment one episode slips and the next one has nothing clear to show. That's exactly why the episode tracking table exists before the architecture does. Roadmap simple, next episode is architecture, properly, then backend, then frontend, then getting it deployed. Each one building on the last, each one grounded in the same table we just fired up. One thing worth adding, once there's a UI to show, a real browser capture step, so future episodes screen record, the actual working app instead of a code-only slide. That's the difference between a tutorial and proof it exists. So that's episode 1. Not a demo, an idea, plus the plumbing that makes the next 9 episodes possible. The bigger lesson, if you're building anything in public, wire up the thing that remembers before you start creating, or you'll be the one who forgets. I write these alone at a desk. A like tells me it landed, a follow means come back tomorrow. If something feels off or missing, or you want to see something new, tell me in the comments. Talk is cheap. Here's the real program, actually running, live output, nothing staged.